everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 482. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
I am Mako-chan.
And I'm Ichigo Gummy.
And how is everybody doing tonight?
Our Twitter, our Twitch still says that you're playing Scott Pilgrim.
I tried to change it.
Wait, hold on. It's fixed.
But
It's fixed. It's fixed.
It
It's
is?
fixed.
Okay.
It's
Let me
fixed.
refresh.
All right.
2021 is off to a very different start. But yeah.
I know, right? Okay, so here's the thing. I updated the stream information, but I forgot to hit update information. I'm thinking, all right, I put it in. It's going to automatically update. So information has been updated. I am not playing Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game. That was yesterday. We're doing the actual podcast. Oh, yes, VX_8. We're back, okay? We're back from a pretty good holiday break, you know? It's fun times, you know, fun times for all. Oh man, you know there's this app out called I'm gonna have to download it now called Twitch Switcher that allows you to switch your stream information back and forth. I need to put that in so I can just hit the button, update, and just flip everything over because keeping everything where it's supposed to be. Well, that was fast. Okay,
It was a bot. It's a bot.
I know, but still, I didn't think
I didn't even see anything pop up. I just saw banned.
I know.
Yeah, who was that guy?
There are a lot of bots going around on Twitch, so if you do see me banning and stuff, it's usually because it's a bot or it's a nasty human being. But in general, I've been working really hard on a lot of my Twitch stuff recently, so it's fine. This one's a well-known bot, so.
You know,
Oh, okay.
there is this picture, and I've used this from time to time on Facebook as a GIF. It's Twilight Sparkle dressed up as like the sniper from Team Fortress 2, and she's just sitting there with you know, behind the rocks, you know, just ready to one shot, one kill. That's Ichigo. She's just sitting there, perched up in the nest, with her sniper's rifle, you know, just waiting to take out all of the bots. And actually, the one you just got kicked, that I think that's a generic bot that's in everybody's stream.
It is, but unfortunately, when you get bots into your stream, it's easy for them to replicate and to start harassing your channel. So it's just good to go through and do general maintenance. I personally on my channel have probably banned about 1,000 bots so far, but I'm basically just making it through the list.
Wow. That's all I gotta say is wow. Oh, jeez. Anywho, let's get into everything. Wow. Okay. We are live tonight, week of January 19th, 2021, right here on Twitch TV. We're live every Thursday from 9:30 to 11 Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch. You can find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We are very thankful for some of the other podcasters, Twitch streamers that host us. We are proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network. You can find them at vognetwork.com and also live at Twitch TV/VogNetwork. And you can also find them on Discord, and you can find us there too at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel, so come by, hang out, and have a good time with us. And I believe we'll be reopening the indoor heated pool. I believe Drunami finally clamped it out like he's supposed to, so it is very much appreciated and so. All right, we're going to kick things off because I know we all probably have some interesting stories to tell about the last 3 weeks that we have not been here. And for those of you who are kind of new to Anime Jam Session, between Christmas and I guess MLK weekend or day, we take 3 to 4 weeks off. That's the time we just kick back. We relax. We don't worry about anything. We just have a good time. We just relax. And I'll have to admit, the first week off, I'm just like, wait, what am I supposed to do tonight? Oh, wait, there's shows I need to catch up on. Let me go do that instead. So, anywho.
I'm just lucky that I didn't have to miss any episodes because of work, aside from the last one of the year last year.
Don't even worry about it, my friend. Anywho, let's kick things off with how was your week? How was your day? But in this case, how was your holiday break? Ari, how was your holiday break?
Well, I did a lot of overtime.
Oof.
Like, a lot. Because, well, I just knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be flowing like water.
Mm-hmm.
And in the week leading up to Christmas, I was on the midnight shift, which is 10 o'clock in the previous night to 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I did so many doubles. Like, the check I got, not this one today, but the last one before it, I had over 40 hours of overtime.
Woo!
That was like an additional paycheck and a half that week. And because I was in between, yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
In between working on, the midnight shift and pulling so many doubles, I would legitimately lose track of what day and what time it was. And it was just maddening. At one point when it was, when the weather got really bad and it was raining and snowing and we had call outs by the droves.
Yeah.
It got to the point where my boss had told me because I almost got to work a triple, 24 hours straight. I'm just if it comes down to that and you feel yourself falling asleep, just let it happen. I'm well, I'm fairly certain you're not allowed to work that long to begin with, but thanks.
Because I think your boss gets it. He understands.
Or probably the fact that I have bags under my eyes that go down to my beard.
And you were probably at that point just rolling into work with an IV that's black looking. You're like, what is that? Oh no, that's my coffee, so we're good.
I can't drink coffee. It just makes me shake too much. It doesn't keep me awake all that often. Maybe the occasional, iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, but that's only for long road trips to a con. I did get a new webcam right here. It has a built-in ring light.
It looks really nice.
It does.
And I was gonna say, for the mention of long convention drives, the nostalgia. When the nostalgia hits,
Yeah, basically I was looking for just a standalone ring light, and I figured, wait, maybe I can just upgrade it altogether.
Right.
And I ended up getting this for Christmas, and well, the instructions were on a single piece of toilet paper level quality, and in broken English. I'm oh god, I hope this thing doesn't pollute my computer with viruses. But it hasn't. So.
You mean something long? So it wasn't fancy like this. Because I have one of those webcams. Remember, I talked about this back in September. I ended up getting one. I ended up signing up and getting it for free as long as I left the review. So I might plug it in.
You probably feel ripped off, don't you?
I can't say I was ripped off because I was reimbursed for it, and as Critical Myth says in our chat room here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, cons. I remember those.
Oh, and I also got a Visa gift card.
Nice.
I had asked for an Omaha Steaks gift card because that's what I was going to spend it on. So I just got this anyway. Got a nice package for it, but one of the things I had in the cart was it's called Colossal Bacon. They only sell it in 8-ounce packs. I'm thinking, oh wow, that's going to be good. And I got it. I looked at it. There were 4 goddamn strips in the pack. Normal size strips, and they're this thick, but there's only 4 of them. I'm wow, this is way overpriced.
No.
It's going to be.
That's like pork belly at that point. See, that's that bacon you don't cook for breakfast. You kind of cut it in half and you kind of bake it for a special occasion,
Oh, I'm gonna candy the hell out of that stuff.
There you go.
But yeah, I retired my old sandals. The white and the beige ones from they were like 2003 or 4.
Right. Yep.
They finally bit the dust. They were just falling apart. And I got some new ones. But other than that, it's just been work, work stuff, gaming. I had my last performance review for probation today, so that's good.
Glad to hear that. Congratulations, friendo.
Huh?
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, but it's 6 months in the supervisor, and never had a job for this long, so.
I think we've all been there about that. Oh, and VX8 wants to know, were they at least colossal?
Oh yeah, that like I said, like regular, normal like lengths, like strips of bacon in lengthwise, but they're like a centimeter thick at least.
Yeah, because like when I do my shopping, like today I picked up 2 packs of bacon. It was on sale, buy one get one free. But I see like the thick bacon that's like 10-ounce package, and it's like 10 strips, and it's like $8. And I look at it and I go, when my normal paycheck gets to the point where I can get another digit on there, then I'll start buying that bacon.
Yeah, this is definitely the special occasion stuff. Actually, I'll post a link to it in the chat so you can get a view for yourself about how big it is.
Nice. And I see it, Tabiri says, on work days like this, I can remember the cons, but I have a hard time remembering the pros.
Wah, wah.
Boo.
Mako-chan, how was your holiday break?
Meh.
Ichigo, how was your holiday break?
Let's let Mako have a few more moments, okay?
Well, fuck you too, Ranma. Thank you very much.
Right? Gosh, and we're just starting the year. It's gonna be a spicy 2021, y'all. There's gonna be some wigs ripped off, some tracks missing. We're just gonna go all out. Okay.
Ding,
Go ahead,
ding,
Mako.
ding.
Yeah, so, truthfully, not much happened. I went to work, and then I had the holidays, and then I went to work, and then I had more holidays. At some point in there, I got sick. At some point in there, Damien got sick. Oh yeah, it's been fun. Yes, Damien right now has a cold. So you may hear him in the background sneezing. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Right now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for my birthday, if I want to do anything for my birthday, seeing as how it's, like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I guess that's where we take out the betting pool and see how much snow we get that weekend.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about skipping anything and then doing something like an unbirthday party in the summer once things have calmed down again, once more people have gotten the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully by then we'll be able to actually do something. I would really like to go bar hopping somewhere. Don't know where, but that's got to wait.
You see, my idea of bar hopping now is let the bars open. You just go up, you collect the drink in a plastic cup, you pay, you go down the block, get another cup full of adult beverage, pay for it, and walk down the block some more. That's my idea of bar hopping right now.
Works in some place like New York City or someplace around the shore or the beach. That doesn't really happen just random because there aren't enough bars in the area to be able to walk from one to another around here. Not that I would want to walk around here.
Drunk.
Yeah, it's not exactly safe to be walking around in my area. There's usually at least an accident on the main strip of road right by me at least, once or twice every week. So I don't do much walking in this area. But yeah, I'm just thinking I'm going to do a little thing just local, and I already have plans with the family for my actual birthday. And then I'll plan something later on.
That's good.
Maybe, once everything calms down, maybe get a room near the beach or something.
Yeah, that's something else I'd want to do. Just look at like, days during the summer when there's like beach property for rent, or like Ocean City or Wildwood, something like that. I just miss going down there.
You know what? I just think everyone just misses just traveling in general. That's basically what it is, because I know everybody on the podcast are either extroverts, introverts, or ambiverts. And I think
that's all you can be.
Yeah.
I'm just
You just named all three choices.
Okay.
So, yes, everybody on the podcast is going to be one of those three choices.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I was trying to say, regardless of what we are, I think we're all at that point where we're going stir fucking crazy.
I agree with that.
Yes.
It has been now over a year since we've gone to a convention.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I had plans outside of convention to take a trip into Vermont. I really want to go and see the Ben and Jerry's factory.
Mm-hmm.
And while going up there, I had already planned a route to be able to pass the Yankee Candle
Plant.
Well, no, it's their main store, so they actually sell a lot of
It's their flagship.
discontinued items, but like old discontinued items. They have they still have the scented soaps that they don't even make anymore. They have a lot of the really old discontinued scents that they still have out. So there is one scent that I like. That they do bring it back occasionally, but I want to go up there and stock up on it because they don't do it often enough, and I'm almost out. So I really want to get up there and see what they have. I want to get up to Vermont and walk around up there a little bit, and of course that didn't happen. So yeah, I would really like to attempt to do that this year.
Or we're not
Maybe
stupid
sometime in
enough
the
to do any
fall.
kind of, endangering behavior.
Well,
No, I there have been very few instances that I've actually hung out with people. I can count on one hand how many times I've actually hung out outside of my house during all of this. So I'm not gonna do something like that just to cure my cabin fever or anything like that. I will say though that I have a nice stockpile of PTO since I didn't go to conventions last year and I didn't take off. So I'm actually taking off a couple of days for my birthday, and I still have over a week of PTO. So
Nice.
that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to be able to use that and use it without having to just sit at the house.
now I hear that. And, as I've said and I've discussed on this podcast before, I have done my quarantine traveling, but I'm not like all these other idiots out here that are traveling and not following safety procedures and protocols. If it's outside the tri-state area and I go somewhere, I come back, I get tested, I stay home. Once the test comes back negative, I still stay home because seriously, where am I going?
Yeah, it's not like there's a whole hell of a lot to do in your area that doesn't involve just sitting to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Look, even I question the fact that you have outdoor dining in the wintertime by constructing heated tents for people to go in and eat with coats on. That kind of defeats the purpose. I can understand during the summertime. But during the winter, you know what? I'll just take that to go. I just lived like 2 blocks down the way. So.
Yeah, it's been a year since I've actually eaten in a restaurant So that's really weird. I mean, I've still gone and gotten takeout and crap like that, but it's like I haven't even gone shopping. I haven't gone to restaurants. It's very, very weird.
Well, I
And
did.
yet I still have no money.
I went out to a restaurant once when I went out of town with my friend and her whole family. They was celebrating like multiple birthdays together with mine. We went out, but when we went into the restaurant, I could tell you this now. There was at least five. There was only 5 tables with people in it. We were one of them, and it was like not even 6 feet apart. It was like closer to 7 to 8 feet apart from each other, taped off and all of that. I was just like, oh, okay, Hell, the next day we went and picked up a friend. We went and got sushi, and we hung out at my friend's college campus. We sat outside, like out on the sound stage, and we were just chilling out there, and we were still like 2 feet away from each other. So yeah. Anywho,
Yeah,
enough
there
about
there
that.
are a couple of restaurants in this area. I had to actually walk around in Red Bank, and there are a couple of restaurants that they actually have each outdoor table in its own dome, and then when the party is done at that table, they come in and they completely disinfect everything. They spray the insides of the dome, they spray the table, so that people are
That's
able
good.
to actually come in safely to eat. So I mean, there's always that option.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it'd be quite an interesting experience.
Yeah, I really miss going into the city. I like that's my normal birthday thing is to go into the city and walk around and drink and hang out and sucks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Granted, most of the places that I would want to go into the city are now closed because of all of this bullshit. So,
A moment of silence for the way station.
yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll get a room and get some booze and just make drinks out of this book I have.
There you go. And as Sia Tabiri says, the only place I've been consistently is the yarn shop, but everyone's in a mask and distance and sanitizing. I just don't want to go out otherwise anymore. Bro, like I said, my Tuesday's the only day I actually do stuff. I do my weekly shopping, or as I like to call it, foraging for food, and I buy my dinner, and I come back, and that's it. If I leave the house after that, laundry, medication, or holy shit, there is something I actually forgot to buy on Tuesday. Let me run to the corner store and get it. Or me walking out down the walkway to pick up my delivery, even though I tell them to just bring it down here. But that's a story for another time. Anywho, Ichigo, how was your holiday break?
It was surprisingly productive.
Yeah?
Like, it was productive in ways that I didn't expect to be productive. If any of you guys know me, you know that while I am a computer enthusiast, would that be an apt description for me, Ranma?
Something like that.
Yeah, a computer enthusiast.
I would say anything that I have more or less taught you, you've kind of figured out on your own, and you're like, okay, slot A goes into box B. This is working. Let me add slots. This is not right. Let me go. You figured it out for the most part.
I am one that is open to change and continually learning, because I feel like that's the best way to better yourself and your knowledge and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been really, really pushing hard to get better about my streaming, about my commission work, and all that fun stuff, because I am housebound, basically, like we all are. And I basically have not really left my bubble because, unfortunately, we have an elderly grandparent that is in rehab right now and going through some medical things, and so I've wanted to be as healthy as possible so I can go and visit them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have COVID or anything. They're dealing
No,
with
I
a
totally
lot of
get
medical
that.
procedures and stuff. And so I really haven't left my house since the last time we went out and we got like tested and everything, and we were negative and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been kind of quiet. And I have been working on doing a ton of research into technology and things like that. So it's been a lot of research and looking into things and doing lots of watching and reading of media and things like that. Oh my gosh. My brain is just like overwhelmed at the concept of all the information I've already taken in. And I've also been working on writing up a panel about it was primarily for cosplaying with chronic illness.
Right.
Or no, sorry, it was mostly for wearing alternative fashions with chronic illness, but it developed into this idea of touching on multiple subgenres and cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also very overwhelming, but a lot of my community has been really supportive about it. And eventually, because it's going to be a process, honestly. I'm hoping that this panel, I'll be able to produce it for online events and conventions and stuff like that, and just change a few things here and there to make it alternative fashion and cosplay, like I do a lot of stuff. But it's going to be called like Chronically Fashionable with Love, or Chronically Cosplayer with Love, or something like that. And so I've gotten a lot of support from my local community and disability and other ability advocates and things like that, which is really, really awesome. And a lot of my friends who suffer from chronic illness and how they deal with it day to day and in their cosplaying lives and in their fashion lives and stuff. So it's been a weirdly productive set of weeks to put it
Because
short.
I did see you make that post. I was just like, wow, that's just really awesome. You know, that's the way I looked at it. You know, so
I am an activist to a point. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm a pro-activist of any sort. I do try to bring awareness to subjects.
I would say you're not a slacktivist, but you're more of a higher level slacktivist. You know, there's me. I won't, unless it comes across my feed, I'll pay it forward. You'll not just pay it forward on your feed. You'll rewrite it and send it forward and do this and do that, you know?
Well, I also feel like there's a lack of support for people who are alternatively abled or otherly abled in cosplay and even in alternative fashion. So I always like to, whenever I create panels, and this I think is something I've mentioned before, I always seek to fill those gaps that I see a lack of support for.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like home ec. Out the window. Not many schools teach it anymore. So what did I teach? I taught laundry for cosplayers and alternative fashion people. You know, I try to seek to fill those points where we seem as a community, as a society, cosplayers, creatives, content creators and stuff like that, like where we're missing things. Like point A, point B, like I connect them. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. And stuff like that. So yeah, it's been weirdly productive.
That's good. All right. So my holiday break has basically been the same as it's my normal weekend day, just chilling at home, you know, doing whatever, you know. I did hang out with Mako for the New Year's and that was it, and came home and kind of sheltered in place. I rebuilt Daitenchi, and by rebuilt I mean I hosed Windows, did a fresh installation, reinstalled everything, and now I'm now using OBS Studio to stream the show instead of Slobs, and it's like I picked up on everything pretty quickly because I used OBS Studio before, but it's like Streamlabs, when you go live, it does all this extra stuff. Now I gotta manually flip these extra switches and do this and do that, and you know, and I'm just getting down to it, so it's not so bad. Gaming, I picked up Katamari Reroll for Xbox One, so you know that was, I think the price on that dropped to $20. I was like, you know what, let me just get that. And also I got disowned by my grandmother for the second time in my life, and I'm just like
damn.
oh, well. And long story short is I just think that she is just mad that I am not the grandchild that she expected me to be, and I do not live up to her expectations, and I really don't care. And that's basically is it. So, you know, you know. Anywho, enough about that. We're going to get into housekeeping. Don't forget, me and Under the Pale do a weekly show right here on Anime Jam Session called Super Grosnet Brothers. It's just us talking about, you know, life in general, stuff that we've been hanging out with, talking about, and so forth. And now we're moving it to Thursdays at 9 p.m. instead of Fridays at 9. But come by on Thursdays and come hang out with us and hear a couple of two old codgers, basically two old anime geek equivalent to Walt Statler and Waldorf, you know. I'll accept that one of us will be drinking, and it's probably not me. So, anywho, next part up is Geek Roundtable. This is a part of the show where we talk about geek stuff that we've been up to outside of like anime and other stuff. Like, to us, there's more to life than just anime conventions and cosplay. Gaming, tabletop, all this other cool nerd stuff. Things we may have picked up along the way. So kicking things off with that is on Ari. You got anything for Geek Roundtable, my friend?
Well, you bring that up, and I just want to show off what I had finally gotten, over the break. It's the, the figurines I had ordered from Tokyo Otaku Mode.
Nice.
The construction's really solid. Nice and heavy. Goku here is he came in two pieces. Torso and legs, as well as a little thing to. And they both ended up coming at the same time. I haven't got the stay on there, the Gohan one as well, and he came with a second arm piece for Goku because his left arm pops off like that. So you get this nice little scene.
Nice.
It's just so adorable to me. I know people like to keep dropping the Goku as a bad dad meme everywhere. And I'm just completely fucking tired of it. Fucking Vegeta Sims. But yeah, these are easily the most high quality figures I have.
I also got like an order. I got stuff from Otaku Mode over the break too, and it's like they sent me an email saying basically it's coming here from a slow boat from Japan. We will let you know.
Oh, you got those emails too?
Yeah.
Huh?
They said we will let you know. We'll give you your UPS tracking number when it ships. And I've gotten them, but it's still preparing. And I remember, I think 1 or 2 figurines I ordered. I'm coming back home with a friend, and the box is sitting there on the front there on the porch, and I'm just like, oh, I got something. But the funny thing is, I never got a notification from UPS saying that it was coming. I'm just like, oh, well, okay, I think I have like 1 or 2 more that's coming its way, but I don't think I'm going to get them at the time given. So, oh well. Okay. Mako-chan, what is that you're showing off for us today?
So to continue my obsession with Supernatural, here is a scroose.
A what?
A scroose.
What is a
It
scroose?
is a squirrel and a moose.
Is moose and squirrel.
That's exactly what I was
There it
thinking.
is. That's what I was looking for.
It is moose and squirrel. So yeah.
Who said squirrel?
Yeah, so last year's Gish rewards included the Scroose, which obviously is based off of the nicknames for Sam and Dean, Moose and Squirrel. It's adorable. It's actually larger than I thought it was going to be, and I did not realize that it was actually going to have the
Oh god, the
handprint
timing
on it.
there, that was just beautiful.
I saw.
Yeah, so anyway, you guys are horrible.
Hey. We can't help it. You set it up.
I know, that's why I hang out with you guys. Come on. This is me. It's horrible, but this is, again, why I hang out with you guys. Yes, so this is my Scroose. This is one of the things that I have gotten in the last 2 months that I have not been able to actually show on here because, I went all Christmas for December.
Right.
So, yeah, he sits with my normal moose, and yeah, everything's falling off now. But yeah, so he sits with my normal moose to keep him company. I am very upset that I missed the previous plushie through the Gish rewards because the ass butt is actually really, really cute. But yeah, so my screws.
All right, Ichigo, what you got for Geek Roundtable?
So, I actually have two things. I guess I can kind of tell. I'm currently part of a campaign where it is a mixture of Feast of Legends, which is the food franchise in D&D setting, and D&D 5e. And my character Jean Dijon ended up spitballing the enemy in the face as he was beginning to start his monologue, his big villain monologue, and then kicked his ass, which was cool. And then he stealthily, I don't know how you can stealthily slide down a slide into a ball pit, but he did it. And then he scared the crap out of the other characters that were in the ball pit. And then I have been working really hard on updating my tech, and I was able to finally, within my movement to be a more sustainable content creator and streamer, I was able to actually find a computer that is fully refurbished, and basically is going to be something that will be able to grow with me for the next however many years it is that I have a computer. So I was really, really excited about that. For those of you who are specs nerds, I will post them in the chat for you guys.
Basically what Ichigo has, she'll have like another 5+ years of power coming out of that bad boy.
And the nice thing is that it's already set up for the 5 series cards, so even if I wait to upgrade it and everything like that, I can still do a lot of things with it. I can upgrade the motherboard, I can upgrade the power, so I can upgrade a lot of stuff. So I'm really, really excited that I'll be able to finally operate my Twitch stream without giving anyone a mental stroke, which has become, unfortunately, the norm. I don't know if it can play Neo Rage X. I have not been able to play any video games on my computer.
I think
so that should tell you something.
That's that's an emulator. I think. I actually don't.
Emulator games, SNK, Neo Geo. Oh,
that's what I thought.
Geo.
Yeah. So it should be able to.
It probably should be able to. It's gonna have Windows 10 on it. So
I look at it this way. My computer is one generation behind yours, and it can run the PS3 emulator without any issues whatsoever. So you wouldn't have any problem with it.
And with the way that the cards are developed, it does have about the same or pretty even power to the 3070. So it's aged well, and it will continue to do so. And the nice thing is, because it's refurbed, the company that is making it is NZXT. I know that they have some questionable stuff going on data mining through their LEDs. But anyway, aside from that, they do warranty their refurbished models for 2 years, parts and services. So if I have any issues for the next 2 years, I've also got that as well. So now I'm just looking for a monitor, and then I will have a nice, shiny new computer. It is set to come in the, I guess, beginning to middle of February. So I'm very, very excited. But that's my nerd thing for the week.
I will point you out to a monitor that's reasonably priced after the show. So I think I got something for you. I got some pretty cool holiday gifts, that I gotten. And one of them was something I had thought about getting because I've seen this advertised online as Tech Tips. But the thing is, it was like the initial setup for it was just a little bit out of my budget. And I didn't like some of the designs that they had. And I'm like, I will probably by the time I actually have a better place, I'll have the money to buy this and then just put it up. And what I'm talking about is disc plate. It's basically a system where you put the mount up and you can just replace like the artwork at any given time. And I believe it uses magnets, which is pretty cool. And Ari here got me a disc plate set for Christmas. And I was just like, wait, what? Because the funny thing is, I'm coming back from, I don't know, I was coming back from somewhere. And I see this package, I'm looking at it, and it says Poland. I'm just like, the hell did I
Stupid
order?
international shipping.
I wouldn't even worry
3
about
weeks to
that.
get there.
That's fine. But I'm like, Poland? What the hell did I order from Poland? And I was like, I don't... And I assumed it was Ari because when I opened it up and I saw what it was, I'm like, yeah, it's basically him.
You saw my name on the billing address, huh?
No.
No, there's nothing inside of it. Mine didn't
Oh.
have anything either.
No. It doesn't have your name or anything. I just knew because it was Sailor Venus. And I apologize for the glare.
There it is, right there.
This is pretty cool. So thank you, my friend. Appreciate
I'm
that.
glad you liked it.
And on the back, I just noticed is the hologram for product authenticity. Okay.
They also plant a tree when you buy one, so there's that.
Oh, that is really awesome. I have like all the parts for it in here in this little envelope that came in, so I know when I do decide to finally put it up, I'll have everything there. So that's cool. Anywho, let me turn this back on so we can get back to where we were. Let's get into tonight's articles. I know we're running late because we're catching up and all of that, but you know how we do. We get this figured out one way or another. So we're going to kick things off with issues with Neon Genesis Evangelion. Ichigo, what's going on with that?
So I know that some of you, we've been mentioning this on the channel pretty frequently about the updates on the anime movie Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, which was scheduled to open on January 23rd, but it will again be delayed because of the state of emergency recently declared in Japan. The new release date is unknown. In an official statement, the producers extended their sincerest apologies to fans and asked for understanding. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time is the fourth and final installment of the series of the Rebuild Evangelion movie series, produced by Studio Kara as a remake of the 1995 series, and it follows teenager Ikari Shinji as he is forced to defend humanity from existential threats by piloting a giant robot at the behest of his authoritarian father. So, yeah, I think that this is going to be a pretty common problem we have through both Hollywood, through animation, through everything like that, especially in Japan, because a lot of those studios, it's not that they don't have the workforce for it. I mean, they kind of don't because of the illness and the virus going on, but
not everyone can work from home.
Not everyone can work from home, and two, a lot of the studios that they work in are very cramped for space. Like, if you've ever seen an animator studio in Japan, unless you're in, like, a big company that's got a multi-floored building, even then, they can be, like, right on top of each other. There's really not a good amount of space for social distancing, unfortunately. So, while there are people that can work from home, we've also discussed that they somewhat lack technology in certain places in Japan, too. So,
yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a continual problem until some stuff. And in the chat, we have Critical Myth saying, I heard possibly December. And honestly, I would not be surprised if it is put off until 2022. That seems to be kind of par for the course with a lot of delayed media right now. And a lot of that is because of the scare of the mutations of the virus. Because it's not that they were worse. It's just that they were easier to spread. So unfortunately, because they're easier to spread, they have to be much more vigilant about the safety and the precautions and stuff like that.
I think a problem also is that Japan is trying to downplay exactly how bad it is over there.
Agreed.
They have basically, gone into state of emergencies in certain parts of Tokyo that they just continue to add to. Yet they're still saying, oh yeah, we're still on course to have the Olympics this year. It's not going to be canceled. We're still going to have it. At this point, I really don't think it's going to happen. I think that they are hoping just because they don't want to have wasted as much money as they did to have to cancel the games. because it has been said that if it does not happen this year, it will be completely canceled. They're
Oh.
not going to postpone it again. So I think right now Japan is trying to save face,
Yeah.
and so you don't, hear just how bad it is. But I have a feeling just showing how many of these types of things have to be delayed and delayed again and delayed again.
Yeah, I
I
can feel
know,
that. I
I-
felt that in my gut when you said that if they canceled it, it's going to be completely like permanently canceled, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's
because they spent so much money on the
the
infrastructure.
The Olympics are a very wasteful event,
Oh,
and
they're
I
They
huge
don't.
are.
money sakes. Just
eh,
ask Greece.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, every time an Olympics happens, the city that it happens in is in debt because of it for years. Years after. Greece is only just now getting back to where it needed to be, even in their numbers. And how many years ago was the Olympic Games in Greece?
16.
Yeah.
And I think when Atlanta held the Olympic Games, I think they were one of the few cities where they bounced back pretty quickly from from all the expenses they invested into it.
Yeah, I mean, it really does depend on where it is. And if the facilities that are around there are able to be used for something else. There are a lot of Olympic facilities that once the Olympics are done, they're completely abandoned. Nothing is done with them, nothing is put into it. I know a couple of places they turned it into office buildings where they could, but for the most part, a lot of these buildings are so specially made for the games and for what it's actually needed for
And they
that
can't use them for anything else.
exactly
They're just
they're
so
used as
specialized
training
and niche.
right
So
they're
like,
used for training facilities or something like that, and the thing is you don't really need that large of a building as a training facility.
yeah. And even with Japan, like a lot of the ways that they're having to build these buildings is not to Japanese specifications, it's to European and Eurocentric specifications. So like instead of being a manageable sized pool that could maybe become a community center, it's a Olympian sized swimming pool or an Olympian sized field for track and field. And it's like that does not fit. I mean, it might become a grass park or it might be opened up for community use and stuff, but like that's not their sensibilities. So the fact that the Olympics kind of forces whatever country they go to one, pay for all the infrastructure, two, and deal with the like cleanup, because we know from previous stories dealing with all the packaging and the cleanup and especially with the fact that the infrastructure is so shoddily built with a lot of these things. It hurts my heart because we know that money, if they had planned better, could have been more readily planned for rather than being wasted on something now that might not even happen.
Wouldn't be the first time the Olympics are canceled due to a tremendous loss of life.
That's fair. Definitely true.
And as TheoX75 says here in the chat, they are still using euros and the drachma is still devalued. Wow. And I also think that one of the reasons why the film is delayed, it's done, but it's not done. Like going in, like fine tuning some of the imaging, some of the artwork, some of the animation. And the thing is, a lot of that stuff you really cannot do from home unless you have a really good internet connection with the proper software to connect back and forth. Granted, outside of the US, you can get amazing internet speeds, but it's the hardware that's behind it. So, like,
yeah, I've read articles where basically they were done with the voice acting, they were done with, the collaboration of what needed to be put into it, but they're not done with the editing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's not just, the internet and all of that. They have to have special programs to do it. They have to have, huge amounts of space to be able to render the animation for these things. That there's no way that a home system would be capable of doing the editing that's needed for a project like this.
Exactly. And the fact too, that graphics cards are a premium. The only reason I was able to get my new system was because I got a refurbished graphics card inside of a refurbished computer.
And what's interesting is that type of video card that's in there, they don't really use those on the professional level for rendering. You can, but they use higher end NVIDIA Titan Quadro type cards to do all of that.
But there's a shortage. I was just using mine as an example, but there is a shortage in graphics cards and graphics card materials overall.
I know, yeah. So Theo says they use CUDA cards. People are buying cards to do Bitcoin mining again.
Yeah, Bitcoin mining.
But also, like I said, the internet connection is great, but it's the software. Just because you have a fast internet connection, that does not mean that your home workstation can connect to your work computers to do everything you need to do without lag or latency. High-speed internet connection on top of a VPN with a secure connection, yeah, that's going to be loads of fun, So, but like I said, they do have software and hardware that's available where it minimizes that, so you can kind of get some work done. Because I was helping people do that when I was still at NBC Universal, so All right, moving right along, Mako-chan, one of your fandoms, Madoka Magica, 10th anniversary.
Yeah, so it is the 10th anniversary for Madoka. And they are starting with a new project. They haven't officially announced anything yet, but excuse me, I have to get a cat off of my bed. So the official website for Madoka, which is 10th.madoka/magica.com. That has been launched for the 10th anniversary project. It currently features a commemorative logo and illustrations by character designer Eiko Umi. Illustrations by other artists and manga artists are expected to appear on the site in the future. There is supposedly quite a bit of stuff that will be happening surrounding the 10th anniversary. So if you're looking to keep up with that, or you're into the series at all, then keep track of the website.
Sounds good. Okay, looks like one of our popular titles out there, Shingeki no Kyojin, better known as Attack on Titan, is wrapping up. And Ichigo disappeared. Oh, there she is. I see her now.
Sorry, I was saying goodnight to my hubs. He has an early morning tomorrow, so he has to wake up at like 4 or 5. So I wanted to send him.
Oh!
And I know that I'm gross, computer mom,
that feeling.
and have to be gross with him. So I'm sorry, you guys can't see that.
Look,
Save for you. I worry. Don't want to gross people out.
Here's the thing. We don't mind the whole gross factor because
I know.
As long as we don't have to hear or see it, we're good. But if we do, you will be dealing with 3 judges here. We'll be rating it, okay?
I'm not paying any attention to what is going on except for the cats that are currently on my bed. And yes, I said cats.
As long as they're being peaceful with each other.
Yeah.
Currently, yes.
Good.
But I have a Jeter on my bed, and this hasn't happened yet, so I have to watch.
Okay.
Now we are talking. Wait, what? No, did we go through all of the other articles?
No, we're talking about Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I'm not the one scheduled to read that one.
No.
I disappeared.
Oh,
for a second,
it is. Oh, it's me. Whoops. My bad.
Duh.
I'm sorry. I did the outline
at the last one now.
I did the outline at 3
and then me and then her, and you're bitching at her that she, stepped away. I was
trying to adhere to this schedule and say night to my hubs while it was not me.
I'm sorry. I did the outline at 3 a.m. and I passed out and I hadn't even looked at it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Tisk.
So we're going to talk about Attack on Titan. Ranma, take it away.
Anywho, the manga Attack on Titan is coming to an end on April 9th. The manga was created by Isaya Hajime. The series has been running in Basatch Shonen magazine since 2009. Wow, 12 years. And the final chapter will be out in May. Meanwhile, the final volume of the collected manga, volume 34, will hit the shelves in Japan on June 9th. Basically, Attack on Titan is set in a world where the last remnants of humanity live behind giant walls to protect themselves from man-eating giants known as Titans. Back in 2013, we had a TV animated series which kicked things off, and now we currently have the fourth and final season, and from what I'm hearing, the final season is absolutely amazeballs. Unfortunately, the 2-part live action film, not so much.
I haven't been keeping up with this series. I did start the manga and then I started the anime. I stopped reading the manga because I just kind of started getting bored with it.
I stopped reading around chapter 50 because it got kind of dull, so.
So yeah, I haven't even made it to the basement yet. And I was just, I was trying to wait until that came about, and then it did, and I never continued reading.
You're probably not the only one.
It got kind of boring. Even the anime kind of got boring after a little while.
I mean, I think I watched a couple episodes of season 2. Now, I think this happens to a lot of us, where we start watching an anime, and then for some reason, you end up doing something different instead of watching your normal anime at the time, and then you just totally forget about it till it's basically is done, and then you go back and watch it. That's what happened with,
I think the problem with this particular one is that there was so long between seasons.
Probably.
That it kind of just like, oh, it's back? Oh, okay. So at this point, I'm just going to wait until everything is complete with it, and then I'll sit down in one, just
marathon
one
thing.
Full shot and
I
read
think
it through.
That's part of our society consuming anime now, is that back in the day when it was like Saturday morning cartoon, okay, you're just getting interested to this show, you had to wait those weeks to get that next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now the whole series are coming out on streaming platforms and you can just down it in one day, or like not one day for a lot of these series, but you guys get what I mean.
Yes, I
where
do.
You can watch episode after episode after episode, and there's a lot more instant gratification, endorphin induced, I don't know, craziness. So when you have a series like this where it's taken multiple years to get out those collections of episodes, it can be a little bit of it basically, like you and I were talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Ranma, where it's older and there's not as much hype anymore, even though there was a movie and there was a lot of stuff
it's gotten a cult following, basically.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? These delays in between seasons, that's starting to become the norm. It's like season 1 comes out in 2015, season 2 will hit 2016 or 2017, and so forth. There are some series where it's back to back, like Pokemon, One Piece, Detective Conan. Few of those are like, they'll do a set season and then a few weeks later you get the next season, or it's just ongoing, Anything that's like the first season is like anywhere between 10 to 14 episodes. Yeah, don't hold your breath for season 2. You're not going to see that for another year or so, if that. So,
Especially
I prefer to watch my animated series like that in one shot.
You know something? I'm starting to feel that, because there are so many great titles out there, and you realize sometimes it's very little time. So something that's 10 to 12 episodes, you watch it and then you're done. Then you can pick up the next series and move along. And and if it's like on Netflix or something like that, you can knock it out in 2 or 3 days,
The only downside with that and the way that consumption of media happens is if you watch something, you get hyped for the next few series, and then it gets totally canceled.
Mm-hmm. Like Penny and Stocking.
And then you get like an anime boner because you're just like blue-balled, because you're just like, oh my god, I can't see any more of this series anymore because it's canceled. And I know that there are a few series like that where I have basically just gotten like super hyped for something, and then they're like, "Oh, next season's canceled," and I'm like, "But there's no wrap up." But there's
Now, and as Bonds 006 says, I've been saying this for years. Streaming has spoiled us on binge consuming content, and I have to agree. Now, if it was like 13 episodes and they just split it, like this week you get episodes 1 to 6, next week or in 2 weeks you get episodes 7 to 12. Something like that to me wouldn't be so bad, you know. Then you got Disney where you're like, you know, we'll give you an episode every week till we're done. Anywho, moving on. Ari, your fandom, Pokemon.
And trading card games, kind
Yep.
of. At Heritage Auctions, a Pokemon First Edition base set sealed booster box from 1999, complete with original shrink wrap and everything, went
Wow.
for $408,000.
Woo! That's a lot of money.
The impressive sale managed to beat the record for a similar booster box that was sold in November 2020, where it went for $360,000. Naturally, one of the hot commodities in these boxes is first edition holographic Charizard, which can fetch some serious coin on its own. Each sealed box contains 36 booster packs with 11 cards each, for a total of 396 mint condition cards. All total, 16 Pokemon lots are auctioned over the weekend, adding up to $1.3 million in sales. Two other Pokemon auctions had six figures as well, including a Blastus hologram card from 1998 at $360,000 itself. Which, like, I never got into the Pokemon trading card game.
I bought a starter deck, but that was it. Basically, it's like a faster version of Magic in a way, but you know, I don't. I guess at the time I was still into Magic, and you know, I was like, yeah, this isn't for me, but you know.
I was in the Pokemon League and actually earned badges and stuff. So, yeah, that's when we still had Zany Brainies. They hosted the Pokemon card leagues, and I still have a few. I think I still have them somewhere. I don't know where they are, but I still have my badges that I earned, and yeah. So, I'm
I
not a
never
Pokemon
played.
master, but
I
Given
never
a re-
played, but I collected the cards.
Mm-hmm. And there are
It just
people that
looked
do that.
pretty, huh?
Yeah, I tend to collect the cards like that.
As
So I
VX8
I have a couple.
probably
I have like 6 or 7 different card games based on either anime or various television series or movies, and I don't play. I just collect them because that's the stupid crap I collect.
yeah,
as
and
VX8 was saying in the chat, there's probably max two Charizards, foil or not, because of the rarities.
Yeah, I think I know I have a holographic Charizard. I just can't remember if it's first edition or not. And I still have a lot of my Pokemon cards if you guys ever want to see like vintage Pokemon cards on my channel separate, but like I don't keep them in their binder anymore. But I have a few, like I have a holographic Japanese Meryl card, which was like one of the first
Ooh.
Japanese cards I ever got. And a few other like just weird ones, but yeah, I used to play that game a lot. I played Magic too, but it was like Magic was for like the older teenagers, and then Pokemon
You
was
probably
more
still
for,
have some Kadabras back when they still printed them, because they had been pulled from the card lineups.
I
because-
wouldn't be surprised. I know that there are quite a few that I have in my collection that are no longer legal if I were to play in like campaigns or whatever. So
No, what I mean is that Uri Geller, the
Oh yeah, we
magician,
talked about that.
he
Yeah,
had- I wasn't sure if you had seen it.
yeah,
or not.
we did. We talked about that basically. Yeah. If
Yeah,
if
his
we didn't
most-
talk about it on
his
here,
best
it was on OLR.
His best performance was when he got publicly exposed by Johnny Carson,
Poor bastard.
like defrocked in front of everyone, just completely called out on his shit. It was just so hilarious.
Now I'm trying to figure out where my binder is. I know I have Pokemon. I know I have Yu-Gi-Oh! I know I have Tenchi. And I know I have Gundam Wing. I think I
Gosh,
have some of the Sailor Moon.
Some.
Well, no, I have the regular cards, the collector cards, not the
yeah,
actual
like the
game
little like
cards.
media
Hmm.
cards. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
there's a
have.
difference between that. I
I think
actually have game cards for certain anime.
I
Oh, I
know
knew
I
about the
still
Sailor Moon
have.
trading card game.
Oh,
That
go
I knew
ahead.
about. While Mako-chan ponders where her binder full of cards
Yeah.
are, um, Ari, what's going on with Katy Perry and Pokemon's 25th anniversary?
Uh, because it's the 25th anniversary this year, the Pokemon Company is going all out for the occasion. The first big announcement that has Pokemon teaming up with a bunch of music acts, starting with Katy Perry as a premier collaborator on the year-long campaign. And she said that it's been constant in her life from playing the original video games on the Game Boy, trading cards at lunch, catching Pokemon on the street with Pokemon Go, even visited the Pokemon Cafe in Japan while on tour.
Hmm.
It's been an honor to be chosen to help celebrate a franchise that given me so much joy these last 25 years. As for what her participation entails, we'll have to find out. The announcement promises a year of surprise music events and superstar collaboration, so as I say, please look forward to it. And I'll post a link to the article in the chat because it has a YouTube video, which is a 25 years anniversary promo for it.
Gotcha.
Also the Pokemon Store also has special anniversary products like a limited edition anniversary themed skateboard from Bear Walker, which goes up for pre-order today.
Interesting.
Of course, even if I did get that, I wouldn't want to skateboard with it. I would just, hide it away and not touch it.
Yeah, hold on to like a collector's item. I get that.
All right, so what's next?
Super Nintendo World. I believe we talked about this on the show a couple times. Basically, we're getting a Nintendo themed theme park joint venture with Nintendo and Universal Studios. You're going to have one at Universal Studios Japan, and I believe there will be 2 more here in the U.S. for Universal Studios Hollywood and Florida. That's going to be really fun. Now, originally, the theme park was going to open on February 4th. Now, we're talking about the Japanese park. But because of the fact that Osaka is under state of emergency, its second one, the opening has been delayed, and the theme park will not open until that state of emergency is over. Now, it was originally supposed to open summer of last year, but because of the first state of emergency and what's going on with COVID-19, how it's being handled, they could not finish the park in time. So they pushed it back until February 4th, which is next month. But because of the second state of emergency, that's not happening. But you can take a virtual tour of the park on its official website. And you could watch Mario's dad become a tour guide on a Nintendo Direct about Super Nintendo World. That's interesting. But just so you know, Universal Studios Japan will be complying with all the new requests from the Osaka Prefectural Government and the second state of emergency, including only letting in a limited amount of people into the park at once. So, and I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe one of Mako-chan's favorite animes is coming back for a second season. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yay, dragons!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we had already said that Dragon Maid was getting a second season, but they have started to release the various information for it. So the so they unveiled a new visual, so it does look like we're getting new dragons. The second season is going to be called Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. It is looking like it will be released July-ish. So yeah, it's so the S in the show's second season title stands for Super Supreme Second Life Starts. So I can understand why they just made it S. But yes, it will be on Funimation is going to be doing the dub for it, and yay. I know this is one of the ones that I've been waiting for a second season. Just because, yeah. But yeah, new dragons.
I think Ichigo will make a good Irma.
I think we've talked about that before. I think we've talked about when we were thinking about doing like it as a group costume or something. That is probably who I would costume. Just because I know that I can be quite outspoken, but I tend to like the more shy, business-oriented characters. Yep. You can see that in my Psycho-Pass costume. You can see that in like I love Sailor Mercury, obviously. So like I like a lot more of the bookish characters.
Plus, Irma has a sweet tooth. See.
That's a big bonus, and that's a great segue into our next article. If you have a sweet tooth like I do, then this real-life Team Rocket may be there to foil your plans. So, excuse me, Owl. Rude. But yeah, so a real-life Team Rocket, a Pokemon Popsicle fraud gets man arrested in Japan.
Say that 10 times fast.
Don't
Pokemon
tempt her.
Popsicle fraud gets man arrested in Japan. Saitama Prefectural Police foil underhanded method to catch 'em all. In the Pokemon anime, Ash, or Satoshi's desire to catch 'em all, is presented as an admirable, noble aspiration. And the same goes for the similarly oriented quest of the player characters in the many Pokemon video games. But the series has always shown that not every pocket monster collector is oh so virtuous, and that some things hold true in real life as well. Earlier this year, Japan's Akagi Nuyogyo, makers of the beloved Gari Gari Kun popsicle line, launched a cross-promotion with Pokemon Coco, the latest anime movie in the franchise, to be subtitled Secrets of the Jungle in its upcoming English version release. Not only was the new flavor of the Gari Gari Kun Golden Pineapple a Pikachu-like bright yellow, the box was also decorated with image of the franchise's mascot and Zarude, the simian mythical Pokemon who plays a key role in the movie. Best of all, once you finished munching on your popsicle and checked on the stick, if there was a special mark on it, you could mail it to Akagi Nuyogyo and receive an exclusive limited edition Zarude card for the Pokemon collectible trading game.
Looks really nice.
Sometime in early November, Akagi Nuyogyo received a winning stick in the mail which had been sent from Akita Prefecture. Then it got another. And another. Before long, the company had received 25 winning sticks, mailed one at a time, all of which they believed were from the same person. A single Pokemon Popsicle fan, being that lucky, seemed suspicious. So the company, which is headquartered in Saitama, asked the Saitama Prefectural Police for advice. In the course of the investigation, they were able to determine that the sticks were fakes. The legitimate Ataribo winning stick from the Pokemon promotion has a Pokemon ball, a Pokeball figure on it, and some kanji sorry, I'm trying to share the article with you guys. That has, I think it probably says like, you're a winner. But investigators have now traced the 25 fakes to a 40-year-old office worker living in the town of Kazuna, Akita Prefecture, and have placed him under arrest for attempted fraud. Akagi Nuyogyo also released a statement to sincerely apologize to its customers, distributors, and all the members of society for the situation, despite not being in fault in any way. But again, the company is very polite. While 25 Zarudes would make for a formidable deck, it's more likely the man was planning to offer the cards for sale online. And when even just the winning sticks from the Pokemon promotion has sold for as much as $483 or 50,000 yen. Speaking of which, the company's statement also cautions buyers against buying winning sticks on the internet, as there is a chance they may be counterfeits as well. Considering the man in Akita was arrested, it's likely he was producing the fakes himself and not just unwittingly using counterfeits he had purchased in good faith. However, the card's high potential resale value may not add to the legal severity of his crime, since the company was giving them away at no extra cost to people who'd purchased the popsicles. As such, the punishment he faces if convicted will not be especially heavy, so thirsting for a harsher justice may have to those thirsting for a harsher justice may have to console themselves with the thought that he might have some severe brain freeze while eating enough. Gari-Gari-kun is was it 25? Oh, eating enough of the ice cream. I was like, what is this sentence?
I think we all stumbled on that too.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm not surprised by this, but also like, dude.
What motivates some people to do this?
Money,
greed, unfortunately.
Some people just like to screw others over.
Some people just like to watch their brain freeze. Yeah.
Well, you live and learn. What's been the saying basically for the past several months? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There you go.
Agreed.
And now,
Yep. Fucked around and found out.
Yep. And now we're at the part of the show that you all know that you stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan, interesting articles coming out of Japan where we're just like, wait, what? And I think Mako-chan got some good ones for us.
Can I have the first one?
Go for it. And I just realized that my sound effects are still activated for Skype, so whoops.
Also, you're muted. Ichigo.
Wait. I think Mako should take the first one.
No, it's okay.
Okay, all right.
I'll take the third one. That means you get the last one.
Sounds good to me.
So the Foo Fighters unveil an exclusive new Japanese sake. It's not every day an American band announces it will be releasing its very own sake, but that's what happened yesterday when rock royalty the Foo Fighters uploaded a surprising new video on their official YouTube channel. The near 2-minute clip shows Japanese brewers involved in the process of making sake as the band's track Shame Shame from Medicine at Midnight plays alongside the visuals. The short cut filmed in black and white like the original Shame Shame music video was uploaded the following message. The producers of top quality Junmai Daiginjo Sake has collaborated with Foo Fighters. Based on a preference of sake-loving band members, Tate no Kawa has specially created 2 types of Daiginjo sake. Please enjoy Hansho Midnight while listening to their fantastic new album. And while sake lovers were excited to hear about the unexpected collaboration, there's no additional information about it or what it actually is, which appeared to leave some people very confused about what they had seen. The Foo Fighters said they love sake, remotely tested a number of different offerings from the brewery, and the sake they chose as their favorite was used to create 2 new varieties to mark the release of the band's upcoming album. Both varieties are classified as Junmai Daiginjo, which is the highest grade of sake. Junmai refers to a pure sake made from only rice, water, and koji milk with no extra alcohol added, while Daiginjo is the term used for sake containing rice that has been highly polished, with at least 50% of the outer grain layer removed. This results in a sake that's easy to drink with an elegant balance between acidity and umami. The first Foo Fighters sake is called Foo Fighters X Tate no Kawa Junmai Daiginjo Hansho Ao, with Hansho Ao meaning midnight blue. And is it? Oh, it is linked in the chat, and you can see the bottles they have here, which is another one called Hansho Jin, which is midnight silver. And what really struck out to me was how the faux Japanese writing on it actually spells out Foo Fighters.
Nice.
So it's both 720 milliliter bottles will retail for about 3,080 yen, or about $29.66, and will be available on February 5th to coincide with the band's new album release. There's also a complete box set containing both bottles and a copy of the new album sold in a special gift box, although price for it has yet to be announced. And there's a link to their official shop for it, and it's all in Japanese.
You can probably find it through a reseller or a distributor or something like that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go through a merchant, a secondary market merchant to get it. It's probably gonna be by lottery. I wouldn't be surprised, unless they have a certain amount or they're gonna be restocking it pretty regularly.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be lottery. I don't think it was a very large supply of it. And then you're going to have to find a reseller that is going to be able to deal in alcohol and is willing to ship it. Because a lot of them are not.
That all sounds gratuitously more expensive than it would normally be.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they went with Junmai Daiginjo, and you did a very good job pronouncing it. Because it's a pretty good sake, and the nice thing is it can be sold in the States. If it were hire, which is like a higher grade of sake, because it's unpasteurized, it's basically like the freshest sake you can get, they wouldn't be able to ship it to the States at all. So.
Yeah, I would not be surprised, though, given that it is an American group that's doing it, if they did not end up producing a quote-unquote cheaper version for the States.
I just want to chug a bottle while singing along to Everlong. Is that so much to ask?
Not to me. Not to me.
No, the only thing that I have an issue with is that you're going to chug it.
Yeah.
Sake is not something
like
that you
sipping.
chug.
I have a nice bowl of like porky ramen and sip it on the side. That to me would be the perfect way to enjoy it with some of the pork belly, all delicious. Oh, I'm making myself hungry. Anyway.
Yeah, something else to use that colossal bacon for.
There you go.
I know. Right? Yes, if you need any recipes, I make ramen from scratch all the time. So I can tell you different places that you can look for to how to prepare it. Especially if you want to look for chashu, which is the pork you eat in ramen. But anyway.
Now I want to go get ramen. I'll have to go do that Friday.
Oh my gosh. It's very dangerous, I know. From one, I guess, kind of fandom of alcohol to a different one, if you're into Toreba or other crane games, I know I was definitely addicted for a while. There is an arcade in Shinjuku that broke Guinness's world record for having the most crane games. If you want it, this arcade's probably got it. Crane games, Japan loves them, needs them, and sometimes breaks them. And on January 7th, 2021, the Sega Shinjuku Kabukicho arcade in downtown Tokyo officially received a certificate saying they broke the Guinness World Records for having the most crane games, also lovingly referred to as UFO catchers in Japan, in their building, in the single establishment. I've actually been to this building, and yes, they have many crane games. The Sega Shinjuku Kabukicho arcade originally opened up in July of 2017, and at the time, it both had crane games and video games, but in late December 2020, it opened as a crane game-only specialty arcade, hence the world record. Prior to reopening, the world record was held by another arcade in Tokyo, Taito Station Fuchukururu branch, which they have a whopping 454 crane games, which I think I've also gone to. And so how many crane games do they have to be the Guinness World Record holders? It's 477.
Woo!
So only
Damn.
18 more, I think, than the other company. This includes snack crane games, mini crane games, giant plushie crane games, anime figurine, and household goods as well. I know in one of the crane games, the first time I went to Japan, I tried to get a one-piece trash can. So they have quite a variety of things. That also says something about my fandom. All right, but here's a photo of the ceremony, which was live streamed for the public. And despite this achievement, they can't say that Japanese netizens were stoked, as some of them said, This system drains more money from you than a pachinko parlor. At first I thought, are there really that many? But then I realized they also counted the mini machines. And if you've never seen a mini crane game machine, a lot of American arcades have them, where it's a larger crane game, but then it's separated into 4 quadrants. And by clicking on the buttons on the different platforms, you choose which level you want to play. And they usually have keychains and smaller prizes in them. I bet the staff set up games so it takes you a lot of tries to win prizes. And honestly, these Japanese netizens are not wrong. Even with online crane games that became quite popular this year and last year in 2018, they're there to make money.
Yep.
I mean, if you have a good skill level and you're able to do things, I'm pretty good. I'm okay. I'm not the best, but I know that there are people out there who look to beat the system very regularly, and unfortunately, those are the type of people that make it so that the games are rigged. After the recent Nintendo Switch related UFO catcher scam, we can't say we blame them, and that doesn't prevent games from being fun. You just need to know when to stop, which might be particularly difficult with all of the Sega Shinjuku Kabukicho's options. And I think the last thing that I got the last time we were in Japan from a smaller one of the mini machines was I have a piece of, or it's a plushie, but it's Doggo Pan. So he looks like a little melon pan, but he's a dog plushie, and he's just super cute. But yeah,
I know it's rich hearing this from us with our the claw style games with like 3 or however many prongs, but these 2-prong UFO ones with like little plastic prongs on them, these things just look so weak.
And honestly,
like even worse than ours.
It's not that it's weak. The ones that we have in the States, especially if you're going to go to the beach and be on the boardwalk or go to a tourist trap, those are specifically set to
have
tighten.
Pressure.
Well, they're set to tighten at certain intervals.
Yeah.
And it's usually based on how many plays. That can be set to random, so you could have 2 or 3 times that it's good and it catches, and then you'll have 50 that it doesn't. The ones in Japan are more skill-based.
Yeah.
They have the same tightening, but you have to maneuver whatever it is that you're looking to get through holes or off things.
Or
and
bars or off sticky
that's
surfaces.
Where it gets more difficult because you're not just picking it up. You have to actually drop it through. And that's how they get you to play more times because it can take you 3 or 4 times just to be able to figure out how that particular claw is going to work. And then you're looking at, it could take another 10 to 15 times just to maneuver whatever it is that you have to get into a space that it will actually fall through and be collectible.
But to be clear, too, they also have a very vivacious and proliferous secondhand market where a lot of these people that go to play these games sell off these figurines secondhand. That's how I got my Maleficent which one is it? It's a more popular style of the Disney figures, but I got my Maleficent secondhand for like $10 instead of playing the game, which would have probably cost me more than 20 to 25 to win her. So there is the chance that you can find things you want for less price, but the appeal of these games is that gambling prospect, that burst of endorphins when you win it, and the fact that people have a much deeper tie to things that they quote unquote earn the hard way.
No, I totally get that. So. And also what's interesting is like some of the figurines that are like exclusive to crane games, if you're patient, they end up getting a normal release. I know there was I think it's a Sailor Moon set that was like for the crane game. And I ended up buying, like, I have 2 of them, Moon and Venus, on display, And I remember looking at the box, I'm like, crane? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking like either whoever this dealer got it from, they got it from somebody who was doing crane games, but I found out later that these crane game figurines got a normal release as well. So I was like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and not only that, but like I was saying, the secondhand market is really huge. There are
Mhm.
shops that are literally dedicated to having basically one of the shops we went to, I think it was called like Tokyo Mode or something, and it was literally just a shop that had plexiglass lockers that you as a geek would rent out the locker and fill it up with figurines that were in their boxes new, in open boxes, were displayed but then not messed with otherwise, so they were just put back in their packaging without the box or whatever. You could find props, you could find cosplay items and stuff like that. And they were very heavily less the price than what you would get from even just the shop that I got my Maleficent at, because it was being sold by, it was basically like a specialized eBay. Was that you were basically paying, and many of these sellers would have similar figures. So there was also their bidding war to get people to buy their stuff, because they would want to be, a little bit less than the guy next to him or two blockers down.
Right.
So that's another thing to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of things off of um the app games, but a lot of what I end up getting I've bought through proxies that have, picked it up. One of my friends was in Japan for 2 years and she would regularly go shopping, so I
Yep.
wasted a lot of money on her. Like, cause she would go into a store, she would buy a bunch of crap and then put it up on her Facebook and go, okay, who wants what? So I ended up getting a lot of stuff that way, but she knew that there were a couple of things that I was specifically looking for. So she would actually go into the arcades, and the people that work in the arcades, they are willing to help you learn how to use the machines in order to win the prizes. Mainly because you're spending money and they get to play for you.
Makes money for the shop, so
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, and there's also the fact that there are a lot of people out there on the internet that do these claw machine content games where they basically just play the games themselves and make like surprise boxes that you can buy from their store or whatever, and they're just like, okay, fandom of Naruto or One Piece or Demon Slayer or whatever, they put a surprise box together, you pay, a flat fee, and they'll ship you a bunch of merch that they've gotten from a lot of these machines. So there are so many markets out there for this, and literally it's just a matter of waiting.
On the other hand, there are certain things that don't make it into the greater market and are very, very rare. So if you do end up finding it, you're paying out the nose for it. There are certain Sailor Moon items that I really, really wanted, and they were exclusive to arcade games, and trying to find them now is so difficult, and it makes my wallet cry.
I honestly, even when I was in Japan and I was seeing the secondhand market where there was stuff Sailor Moon wise, like there is such a big market for Sailor Moon secondhand, even the more rare stuff, but the pricing, like you said, it's gouged to the heavens. It's gouged to the tens, and I just I wanted all the things, but I could not.
Another time, perhaps. Okay. Mako-chan, I think this one is yours, right?
Yeah, it's a little shitty.
Oh.
it begins.
What do you mean begins?
It never ended.
There you go.
So we have discussed on this show the infamous serial toilet thief. Well, they did finally catch him. And it's titled The God of Toilets Case. So basically, the investigators in Chiba Prefecture, they had a string of toilet thefts, and the city itself dubbed the caper the God of Toilets Case. So it began back in October when a construction crew partway through building a house showed up to the job site to discover the toilet had disappeared since their last shift. It wasn't long again until yet another porcelain throne vanished from a different under construction house. All told, the eventual count reached 18 pilfered poop pots. And this is coming from the article. I'm not making this crap up. So they finally ended up catching him, and it ended up tracing to a 26-year-old office worker who was arrested and taken into custody earlier during this week, actually. He was previously employed at a home construction company, and it's likely that his knowledge of on-site workflow and common security measures enabled him to continue his crapper crime spree. So basically he was taking them in order to sell them at secondhand stores to pay for his living expenses. They have the police have not actually publicly announced how they ended up tracking him down, but basically the fact that he was selling them at secondhand stores, they're gonna tell on you. It's not like you're going in there and they're gonna go, oh no, I don't know who this person is. You're selling toilets to them. It's not like it's some random stuff that you're giving to different places. You're specifically selling toilets. So yeah, the crapper case is done.
God of toilets? What a shitty patronage.
But did they catch him with a number 1 or a number 2, though?
I thought it would be funnier if they caught him with his pants down.
Oh God.
That one hurt. that one hurt.
Wait,
I wish this was alcohol.
you know, the fact that Ichigo broke Mako right then and there.
No, I didn't say she broke me. I just said that hurt.
Yeah.
That was a very bad pun. Very fitting, but also very bad.
Very bad.
It was just turtable.
This is why. God. This is why I have a channel on my Discord that's Vaporwave dad joke vibes, because that's what we're here for. We're here for the puns. But yeah, when I was reading this, I was like, really, toilet? Like, legitimately toilets. Like, we've seen a lot on this channel. We've seen a lot through the years of doing
We've
weird
seen
news.
some shit.
Depending on the
This
type
boy.
of depending on the type of toilet that you're looking at. If they're building new homes, it's gonna be a new toilet.
Yeah.
So you're looking at anywhere between $150 to $7,000, depending on the type of toilet.
At least $1K in Japanese toilets, because let's be honest, the built-in bidet, the noises, and the whatever, the lights, the LEDs, your gamer toilet, whatever it is, they cost a lot in Japan, and a lot of that is because of the way they use water and the way they function and all the add-ons and everything. So was he planning a big potty? Oh my gosh, Siatabiri. In our chat here, Anime Jam session on twitch.tv. Oh my gosh. But
yeah, even if this guy's only making half of what the toilet actually costs, I mean, you're looking at rent.
I mean, you're looking at rent, but also, like, how is he expecting not to get caught? Like, even just, like, if you were doing it on the secondhand market, I know over here what tends to get stolen from a lot of building sites and stuff like that is copper wiring and copper piping and metal and things like that. But toilets? Like, God. Like, what?
Yeah, the people that end up stealing the copper, they're smart enough to actually melt it down before they start selling it. So it's not in the same form that they stole it in.
Yeah, but you can't really do that with a potty unless you, like, turn, like, true high art and flip it on its side and spray paint on it. Like,
it's not like one of those skull toilets that everybody's been going nuts over.
I want one.
You don't need one.
That's what I was hearing.
The eyes glow in that toilet. I want one.
Oh, he thought he would be flush with cash, but his plans went down the drain. Oh my gosh, this chat tonight, guys. This chat.
All right,
That-
the puns are getting shittier and shittier.
That was just turtable.
Oh my gosh.
You used that one already.
I'm glad
I know.
used waterproof mascara because y'all are making me cry laugh. Okay. But anyway, moving on.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the last story about how the Olympic Committee is training hackers to protect the Olympic Games. Kind of makes sense. So what's going to happen is that the Tokyo Organizing Committee has trained 220 white hat hackers. Just so you know, white hat hackers are the good guys, black hat hackers are the bad guys. So, you know, that's why they also say there's such thing as ethical hacking now. And they also call them white hackers, like I just explained. They're doing this to make sure that the cybersecurity during the Olympics is secure and everything is okay. Fears of a cyber attack during the games are warranted, as the 2018 Winter Games in Pyeongchang were heavily disrupted by a network breach and its official website was shut down. And there was also a cyber attack on the 2012 Olympic Games website as well as their network. Japan's own ability to withstand such attacks were called into question 2 years ago when the minister in charge of the games admitted to have never touched a computer in his life. And I believe we talked about that. But this person has stepped down, and there is somebody new and basically brought backup. Now, there is fear that this elite team that was trained by the government that only a few months ago announced it would phase out the uses of fax machines and wooden stamps. The good news here is that each member was plucked from existing IT companies with existing expertise and employment. So that's even better. But this is also an important detail with the still realistic possibility that the games get scrapped and they suddenly have over 200 disgruntled, unemployed white hackers on their hands. Now, any news in regards to the Olympics, you're going to get people from Japan complaining about it. According to the netizens, this is what they've been saying. I'm surprised they did something properly. I joined just to get the training experience. We should just convert everything to paper and stamps. It's the ultimate in cybersecurity. The training is probably reminding them all how to use Internet Explorer.
Or worse, Netscape.
No. Netscape's fine. That's what Firefox has become. Netscape is basically Firefox, but Internet Explorer. Woo, load. With very little known about these hackers or their training, it's hard to say how effective they will be. But if the games are being broadcast without any noticeable issues, then you know who to thank in regards to this. This leaves one lingering problem that can't be solved with encryption or vaccines: the lethal heat that comes every summer. Since they still seem dead bent on holding it in July, hopefully they're taking the extra time to come up with some better cooling ideas than funny hats and everyone turning their air conditioners on at the same time.
Yeah, turn your air conditioner on and leave the doors open.
Anywho, I think we're done here. That comment alone, I'm just like, no. I think we're done here. So.
Oh boy.
So, if you like the show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. We do this for the fun of it. If you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And while you're at it, check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find links to our weekly podcasts, anime reviews, convention reports, cosplayer interviews, cosplay tricks and tips, editorials, and a whole lot more. And that's animejamsession.com. And don't forget to check out our podcast whenever you can. Any podcasting app that's out there, you can find us on there. Over 480 episodes, 10 years of content. Check it out. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, search it, and we can be found. And don't forget to follow us on our many social medias, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You want to see convention coverage? YouTube.com/Anime Jam Session. When we're going live, articles in regards to our website and other things, Twitter.com/Anime Jam Session. When we're going live, convention cosplay photos and some secret videos and stuff, Facebook.com/Anime Jam Session. And don't forget, we appreciate your subscriptions, your bits, tips, Streamlabs.com/Anime Jam Session, Ko-Fi.com/Anime Jam Session. Any money goes in, keeps the site going, and keeps everything up and running. And we really appreciate that. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I need to be up at 4 a.m. I'm not looking forward to it.
Last words, Mako-chan.
I'm currently playing Keep the Cat Away from My Window. It's not working.
Last words, Ichigo.
I'm super excited for my new computer and I'm creating a new home, but I hope to see you guys next week. So have a great week.
When is it coming?
It's coming after February 2nd. It
Nice.
said shipping on February 2nd, but it's fast shipping, so I'm very, very excited. Keep
Awesome.
in your positive thoughts.
My last words, I'm going to put together some ice cream and watch another brand new episode of NCIS. Damn you, CBS, for hitting me with a 2-for-1 like that. Well, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, new articles, new stories, new chaos, and all of that stuff. So, this is it. End of list. We're getting out of here. I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
I'm Mako-chan.
And I'm Ichigo Gami.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, all.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
That is it. Perfect. We're out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on the show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it! For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!